Welcome to day 2 of the wedding photography course. I'm Taylor Jackson, as you know. Yesterday we were in Iceland for a shoot. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Today we are talking about how to book more weddings, so let's begin. Taylor Jackson.
Shooting 67 weddings last year.
Taylor Jackson, welcome.
So Taylor, you are well known in this community. You're an amazing photographer.
How to book more weddings. Definitely a loaded subject to be attempting to do in under 10 minutes here. But let's begin. As a kind of a primer to this, it's not an overnight success, although there is one overnight success tip in here if ever required. The rest of it's how to create a sustainable business that is just not going to burn out, and that you're not going to be worried about booking weddings next year, that you're going to create something that people actually like and that people want to work with you for. So that is kind of the premise here. And if you're first getting started, this is my first tip. If you haven't booked your first wedding, or if maybe you're in your first or second year, is the try before you buy concept. One thing that I did a lot if a really qualified, good inquiry came in is that I would offer them a free, no strings attached engagement session. And I know that some of you might be thinking that like this devalues your brand, like you can't be doing things like that. But I think what it did was, one, it was a little bit selfish. It gave me a new couple to photograph somebody for my portfolio. It was obviously agreed that I could use their images in my portfolio. Number two, I created a few new clients that knew about me and knew that I did photography, and they would post out on Facebook or tell their friends about it. And it's somebody that was not connected to my friend circle. So there's a little bit more professionalism, I guess, whenever they tell their friends about it. And it's not just their friend who's a photographer, it's this guy that we found online. Number three, it showed that I had a lot of confidence in my skills as a photographer, that I didn't lie. I didn't ever pretend to be somebody that I wasn't. And my couples could see that when they were inquiring. They could see that I maybe had shot one or two weddings. I wasn't going to tell them I'd be in the business forever. That's shady, and that's how you get yourself into trouble. But by just showing that you're confident that you're going to go out and do this shoot, they're kind of like, okay, so if this guy's confident enough to do our engagement shoot, clearly he has the confidence required to photograph our wedding. Number four, it showed that I genuinely enjoy what I do. And I know that if you're contacting photographers specifically in this area that have been in business for like 15 or 20 years, they really don't enjoy actually taking wedding pictures. They just do it because it's the only thing that they know how to do. And I could show that I was kind of new and hungry, and I actually wanted to go out and take these pictures, and that was exciting for me, and hopefully they would see some of that enthusiasm. Number five, it kind of shows that I'm not a dick, that I'm not, if somebody's offering you a free shoot, they're probably not going to be the one that's going to also be trying to nickel and dime you or try to hit you with that like $6,000 album upgrade. That you're just kind of a good guy and you enjoy what you do, you have fun, you're confident in your skills, so why would they not book you? And by giving away that free offer, I think it was about 100% return on people that actually booked me. Obviously, make sure that they are the correct couple for you before offering this, but it's definitely something that got me my first few bookings and kind of got the ball rolling and got the local area to know about me and my photography. All right, next up, promotional video. The most important thing that I did once I had a somewhat good gallery that I was happy with was I called my friend Mark, and I was like, Mark, can we go shoot a video? I'm going to get two of my friends to dress up in their wedding outfits. We're going to take some pictures. I want you to take some video of that, and then I'll just talk about some stuff. So I wrote like a 3-minute script that was just like, hey, I'm Taylor. I used to shoot music. Now I shoot weddings. Here are things that I like to do. Here's me taking some pictures. Here are those pictures that I'm taking. And that's about it. There was nothing really beyond that. It was just to get my face in front of the camera. And if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, I totally get that. I would say 0 to 4% comfortable in front of the camera when I did that first video. And it was pretty much, I just read it line by line, that Mark would hold up a piece of paper. I would say that line, and we had enough B-roll to kind of cut around it and make it look like I just came up with it in conversation. But that way, that if you say something that you don't like, you just keep saying it until you get it right and just move on to the next line. It's a lot of pain in editing, but it makes for a good product when you're not a professional speaker. And then over time, you will get good at video. It's just kind of a thing that happens if you do video, just like shooting photography. If you take a lot of pictures, you'll get good at photography. All right. Number three, Facebook ads. This is the overnight success if ever needed. And around the prime booking times like January, February, I run a ton of Facebook ads, and I pretty much just have my promotional video and I just run an ad, maybe $10, $20 a day at that, and point everybody to my website. I know that a lot of people aren't really excited about the idea of spending money on advertising, and there's kind of a negative connotation around it that, oh, if you have to pay money to advertise, you're not like an in-demand photographer. But I think that's crap. It is the easiest way to get people to your website, and people that don't know about you and that maybe they haven't been referred to you, but once they see your name, they'll actually maybe look up mutual friends in common and ask about you or something like that. But as like a way to just get your name out there during the important times of booking, it's a no-brainer. And that $20 a day over a couple of days, maybe you spend $100 on ads, it'll probably book you like $3,000 in work that year. And then that wedding will refer you to other weddings, and then it books you $6,000 next year. And yeah, that's kind of how the wedding industry works, that the first year is a little hard, and then things get a lot easier moving forward. If you're not familiar with Facebook ads, you need a Facebook business page. So start one of those now, and basically just promote the post with your video, or actually run a proper ad. There's a lot of ways to do it, but it's definitely a super powerful tool that I use for pretty much everything that I do on the internet. All right, number 4 is to hang out with other photographers. I came from shooting concerts a long time ago and kind of moved into weddings, and a lot of my friends that I shot concerts with will now second shoot weddings for me. And the same goes with hanging out with other wedding vendors as well. I'm just kind of an awkward guy, and if we have something that we can talk about, like photography, that's an easy fallback, that makes my life a lot easier out in the social world. Another benefit that just comes with hanging out with photographers is that you become more known as a photographer, just by association, as well as opportunities to second shoot and just go and do cool photography things just for fun. And if you don't like other photographers, then don't hang out with them and ignore this tip. That's cool too. Number 5, send vendors images always. It's something that everyone forgets about, that everyone has the good intentions of sending out images to the decorator and the hairstylist. Just collect cards or collect even Instagrams when you're there. If the hair and makeup artist is working, just ask them for their Instagram, add them, so that whenever you upload something to Instagram, that you can tag them, and eventually whenever you blog the wedding, you can tag them as well, and they will appreciate that a lot, because not a lot of photographers do it, which is kind of crazy. The last tip, and the bonus tip, is to make sample albums for venues and vendors that you like. If you are good friends with the florist and you've shot a lot of their stuff, make them a sample album. If you are at a venue every weekend, make them a sample album. If you want to be a preferred vendor at a venue, make them a sample album, and probably eventually you'll become a preferred vendor at that venue. That's usually how it works, not the other way around, where they ask you to be preferred and then you make them a book. It's way easier just to make them a book, and then you kind of become preferred because your book is nice and they don't want to throw it out. So those are my tips. Make a venue something so nice that they'll feel bad throwing it out, and then you become a preferred vendor. And I know that that kind of sounds like a joke, but it kind of isn't. It's kind of how I've become a preferred vendor at a lot of different venues around here. So that is all for today. Maybe a 7th tip is to respond to emails quickly. Give couples less reasons to not book you. That's a good one that gets really hard in the summer, as well as sending images to vendors. But if you use something like Too Bright Lights or something, it becomes a lot easier. Just put stuff up on there and tag everybody, and then everybody's happy. Everyone refers you work. You become super well known in your area. You make millions of dollars, and then all of your wildest dreams come true in life because of wedding photography. I'll see you tomorrow when I'm going to make Lindsay talk about the one thing that's going to get you published in magazines and on wedding blogs all over the universe / Earth, because I don't know if they have weddings in space yet. But an anti-gravity wedding would be pretty cool, and would probably become the new Iceland pretty quickly. So tip number 8, if you want to start a trend, do the first anti-gravity wedding in a Russian 747 or on the International Space Station. Good luck. If you're interested in learning my advanced marketing secrets and getting over 9.5 hours of wedding photography content, click the link in the description.